If you're a dog trainer who wants to get more board and train clients in your business, then this video is for you, because by far the most popular program that we help dog trainers sell is board and train programs. And I know for a lot of you guys watching this who are dog trainers, you want to probably sell more board and train programs in your business. And it's because they're high ticket programs and they can make your business very profitable. And so in this video, I'm going to share with you how we help dog trainers consistently book 5 to 10 board and train clients per month. And I will share with you how you can implement the same system within your own business to get similar results. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive into the video. All right, now before we go any further, I just want to be clear that in this video, we're going to talk about how to get more board and train clients, but specifically how to get more board and train clients using Google Ads. So we're going to have keyword references in this video. We're going to talk about headlines and descriptions. So just wanted to get that out of the way. What we are going to be covering, the first thing is maximizing lead volume. And then we have the 3 messaging pillars, how to get the click, and lastly, how to get the conversion. Maximizing lead volume. In order to get a high volume of board and train clients, you must first have a high volume of qualified leads who are likely to purchase a board and train program. This means filtering out low intent audiences and focusing your targeting on those most likely to convert. The targeting mistake most people make is going too broad and sacrificing quality, or too narrow and sacrificing volume. We want to strike the perfect balance of both quality and quantity. So there's really only 2 types of leads that we want to attract. Dog owners who are aware of board and train services and know that they want it, and dog owners who know they want training, but are maybe unaware of board and train as a service and simply just need more info to be sold. So I have a little diagram here to help illustrate this point. Everything in the red are people who we want to disqualify, and everything below this green bar here that says target are people who we want to target. So let's start off with the disqualified section here. So we want to disqualify people who don't want board and train, right? If we're trying to sell board and train programs, we don't want to write, or rather create Google ads targeting people who do not want board and train programs. You'll waste your money. So down here we have keywords, right? And we'll discuss these more in just a moment, but right down here we have keywords, right? So we don't want people who are looking for group classes to see our ads on Google. We don't want people who are typing in day school or private lessons or dog training app to see our ad in the Google search results. So you should automatically, before you even start your Google ad campaign for your board and train program, create negative keywords that tell Google, hey Google, if someone types in group classes or day school or private lessons or dog training app, then don't show our ad. So these are people who we want to automatically disqualify. We know that they don't want a board and train program. They're specifically looking for other program types. And then here in the yellow, we have people who know that they want training, but aren't aware of what board and trains are, or just aren't sure if they should go with a private lesson or a board and train or a group class. And so oftentimes their keywords will be pretty general, something like dog training near me, or, Sacramento dog training, or dog training services, or dog aggression training, right? These are people who we want to target because they need training, but maybe just need to be guided towards the board and train program in order to make the sale. They need more info. And then everyone here in the green are people who we know that they want board and train. And so the keywords that they're using are things like board and train near me, or dog boarding with training, training boarding for dogs, doggy boot camp, right? So everything here in the green are people that we do want to target. We want to make sure we disqualify those who do not want board and train programs. And then we want to be able to qualify those, or rather target those who are actively looking for board and train programs, or who are actively looking for training that just need more information to be sold on a board and train program. Sorry to interrupt your video. Give me 15 seconds. We'll get right back to it. If you didn't know already, I own a marketing agency. We work exclusively with dog trainers to help them get more clients, and we've generated millions of dollars in new revenue for dog trainers. So if you want to consider working with us, go ahead and click the link below and we'll see if we're a good fit. Let's get back to the video. The next thing we have is the 3 messaging pillars. Now that we know who our target audience is, the next step is to create messaging that grabs attention, builds trust, and guides them toward taking action, like a form submission or a phone call. So there's 3 messaging pillars that you want to use throughout your campaign. And this includes your keywords, your headlines, your descriptions, and your landing page. Pillar 1 is what board and train is. This is for those who need training, like we discussed a minute ago, but don't know this type of service exists. So we need to make sure we have some basic information as to what a board and train is. So what is a board and train program? How is it different from a private lesson or a group class? Who is it for? And by the way, there's supposed to be bullet points here, but they didn't transfer in the PDF, so that's why they're not there. But basic information about the board and train program is necessary to have throughout your ad campaign for those who need training but maybe don't know what it is. And then pillar 2, the benefits of a board and train program. And this is for everyone. Why would someone want a board and train program over an alternative? Is it easier? Is it faster? Is it convenient? Is it premium? Consider the benefits of your board and train program and make sure that you are weaving that stuff throughout your board and train ad campaign. And then we have pillar 3, preempting common objections of board and trains. And again, this is for everyone. So where will my dog stay? Will you send me video and image updates? Will my dog learn to listen to me and not just the trainer? So for example, to this last question, you're gonna have a lot of dog owners who worry that, okay, I'll send my dog to you for 2 to 3 weeks for the board and train, but when my dog comes home, how do I know he'll actually listen to me and not just you who has trained him, right? So these are questions that are going on in your audience's mind, and you want to make sure that your ad addresses these. So the 3 pillars, we have what board and train is for people who need training but don't know what this type of service is. Then you have the benefits of your board and train program. And then lastly, preempting common objections of board and trains. And this is a big one. A lot of people will get worried about letting a stranger take their dog for a few weeks. So they want to know, it's like, where's my dog going to stay? How do I know he'll be safe? Will you send me text and video updates? This is the type of messaging that you really want to make sure you have throughout your entire board and train campaign. Next, we have how to get the click. Now that we know who we're targeting and what messaging will resonate, it's time to build our ad and get it in front of them. A Google ad primarily consists of 3 components. You have your keywords, your headlines, and your descriptions. This is kind of what that looks like, all right? So a Google ad, for the most part, will look like this when it is surfaced in the search results. You're gonna have your headline at the top, and you're gonna have your description. Then you might have some images down here and site links as well. But for the most part, these are the core elements of your Google ad campaign. It's gonna be a headline and a description. Let's go ahead and start by covering keywords, and then we'll cover headlines and descriptions. So keywords. Our goal is to choose keywords that match what users are searching for, while also having specific intent. For example, dog trainer is too broad and can mean many different things. So when you're creating your board and train Google ad campaign, don't use a keyword like dog trainer. It's way too broad and you're gonna get a lot of irrelevant traffic to your landing page and ultimately waste money. So instead of dog trainer, use something like dog trainer with boarding. Instead of obedience training, use something like dog obedience training camp. These keywords have much more intent and meaning and specificity behind them than just dog trainer or obedience training. And this is important. Don't assume everyone will use the term board and train. People might use terms like boot camp or boarding school or stay and train interchangeably with the board and train terminology. So keep that in mind. So those are keywords. Now let's talk about headlines. Google wants to give its users the best experience possible, which means surfacing results that are relevant to their search query and its intent. If someone searches the term board and train near me, we don't want our headline to say group classes or private lessons or dog training services. We want headlines that are specific and outcome driven, like board and train for aggressive dogs, fix leash pulling in 2 weeks, or dog training boot camp near you. Your headline should reflect the problem the dog owner is dealing with or the result they want to achieve, not just what you do. Here's a quick tip. Create multiple variations of headlines based on different problems like aggression, obedience, anxiety, different program types, so boot camp, boarding, stay and train, boarding school, etc. Then different outcomes, off-leash control, peaceful walks, better listening. This is the kind of verbiage and terminology that you want to use when you are writing your headlines for your Google ad campaign. Now let's dive into descriptions. Your description should expand on the headline. speaking to the dog owner's situation and clearly explaining the outcome they can expect. So we just covered the headline, and now we're covering the description. So this goes below the headline. So your description should expand on the headline. Here's an example. Instead of "we offer professional dog training services, contact us today to learn more," that's way too general, right? We need to be more specific. We need to expand on our board and train headlines inside of our description. You should use something instead like, "Our immersive board and train program is designed for dogs with aggression, reactivity, and obedience issues. Ideal for busy owners who need fast, structured results. Limited spots available. Schedule your consultation now." So you can see how this is much more specific. It talks about what the program is designed for, who the program is ideal for, and it also has a little bit of urgency with limited spots in addition to a call to action to get them to take action, essentially, right? And so that's creating your ads. Just to quickly summarize, we want to have keywords that match what users are searching for while also having some specific intent in there. So instead of dog trainer, we want to do something like dog trainer with boarding. And then for headlines, we want to make sure that our headlines are relevant to the keywords that people are typing in. So if someone is typing in board and train near me, let's make sure that our headlines include terms like board and train or boot camp or boarding school, etc. And then for descriptions, just make sure that you are expanding on your headlines inside of your descriptions. Again, make sure you're not being too general. Be specific. Talk about outcomes they can expect. Talk about who this program is for, benefits of this program, features of this program, right? And then lastly, we need to get the conversion. So at this point, we know who we want to target. We know the messaging we want to use. We've created an ad to put in front of them and get the click. But just getting the click is not enough. Now we actually need to get them to give us their contact details or give us a phone call. And that's what how to get the conversion is all about. So let's get into it. At this point, we've covered who to target, the messaging to use, and how to create ads that get clicks. Now we need to convert these clicks into leads. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is sending traffic to your homepage. It's too broad, not built for cold traffic, and will almost always hurt your results. Instead, send people to a dedicated landing page that focuses on the problems dog owners deal with, the desired outcomes they want, and position your board and train program as the bridge to this gap. So, how to get the conversion? We're simply identifying two key insights from your market. Pain points, where they are now, so things like painful experiences they're dealing with, the emotions that were felt, the problems that it caused, the time that was wasted. And then here I have language being used. So consider the language that they use and put it on your landing page so that it resonates with them better, right? Like use the terms that people use to describe the frustration or the guilt, or, if they say they're at wit's end with their dog, like use that kind of terminology throughout your landing page because it'll resonate with people. And then we have desired outcome, where they want to be. So we're identifying two key insights from the market, where they are and where they want to be. Make sure you do your research to understand where they are now and where they want to be. For example, for the desired outcomes, activities they finally get to enjoy, like going to the park without having to worry about their dog being reactive towards other people and dogs. Worries they no longer have. The positive effect it's had on their relationship. Maybe the household is much more peaceful now after their dog has been trained, right? It's like these are the desired outcomes that people want from the training. So once you understand their pain points of where they are now and the outcome of where they want to be, it's like you have one side of the bridge here, which is where they are now, and then the other side of this bridge is where they want to be. You need to be able to position your service as the bridge to that gap. And that's what this diagram here is all about. So this will help kind of bring this home. So right now you have a dog owner who needs training and they're dealing with all sorts of problems, right? And this is where they are now. Their dog is reactive, maybe it's leash pulling, it's just causing them a bunch of stress in their life and they're not happy about it. They want to be here. They want to be able to take their dog to a park without worrying. They want to be able to have people over without their dog jumping on people or barking. They want to have this outcome here. But there's this gap. And they don't know how to solve this issue. And that's where you come in. That's where your board and train service comes in. You are the bridge to this gap to help them get from where they are to where they want to be. And I'll zoom in just a little bit so we can read these bridge blocks here. So we have, above these little blocks, you'll see different terms like outcomes, benefits, trust, programs, safety net, offer. These are things that you want to lace throughout your landing page and throughout your campaign in general, because each one of these blocks is what will help position your program as the inevitable solution to the problems that this dog owner is facing. And as you talk more about the outcomes that people can expect, the benefits people can expect, as you introduce social proof of great reviews or video testimonials that people have created, as you provide some information with your programs, if you have a guarantee and you talk about that, if you have a good offer like a free eval, you talk about that. Each one of these blocks will bring the lead closer and closer to this desired outcome that they want. Right now, of course, just talking about these things on the landing page isn't going to fix their problems, but what this visual representation is supposed to do is basically let you know that, hey, talk about the outcomes of your programs, the benefits. Talk about a guarantee that you have, right? If you have a free eval or some sort of offer that makes it easy for them to take action or makes your program desirable for them, talk about that throughout your landing page, because the more you do, the higher likelihood they will give you their contact details and want to know more about the program. So, summary. Maximizing lead volume. Focus your targeting on the right audience to maximize both quality and volume without going too broad or too narrow. The 3 messaging pillars. Pillar 1, what board and train is. Pillar 2, benefits of board and trains. And pillar 3, preempting common objections of board and trains. How to get the click. A Google ad has 3 core components. You're going to have your keywords, your headlines, and your descriptions. Remember, Google wants to give its users the best experience possible, which means surfacing results that are relevant to their search query and its intent. So while you're creating your Google ad campaign, if you're ever, if you find yourself overthinking it, just remember at the end of the day, Google simply wants to surface results that are relevant to the search term that the user put in the search bar. How to get the conversion. Instead of taking users to a website, take them to a simple landing page that only contains relevant information with clear next steps. Consider where they are now, where they want to be, and position your service as the solution. And if you do that, people will give you a phone call and they will give you their contact details. So that's how we help dog trainers get more board and train clients from Google Ads. And I promise, if you watch through this video and you apply what I've taught you throughout this video to your own business, you too will be able to get more board and train clients from Google Ads in your own business. Now, if you don't want to learn this stuff yourself, and you'd rather have a professional team do it for you, then feel free to click the link below this video. Full transparency, it is going to take you to a website with me pitching you. So if you don't want to be pitched, don't click the link below. Otherwise, if you do want to be pitched and consider working with us, then click the link below and we'll see if we can help you. With that said, if you found any value in this video, please consider liking it. If you have any questions or suggestions, leave a comment below, and please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos in the future. That's it. I'll see you soon.